Hello there, my name is Chris Palmer, and in this video, I'm going to give you a guide, a walkthrough of advanced schema markup. Now, I want to share with you a couple of things. I'm going to share with you an already written schema markup template that I'd be more than happy to share with you that's going to include multiple different types of schema markup that could be utilized on your site. With that being said, of course, this schema markup is going to be for my site, a digital marketing website that I'm recreating. But with that being said, so as you can see, the page is eligible. And this is how we know that a lot is golden. You'll also get warnings. Golden, what I mean by golden is that it's functioning properly, it's working. The scripts are good. Now, I want to discuss this because it's an advanced guide. I want to lay this out, all right? First and foremost, yes, you can create a graph, all right? And you can stack multiple types within, one string. Along with that, you can use multiple different types of structured data or schema markup. There's a magnitude of different schemas. Now, what is recommended by Google is JSON, all right? Now, a lot of what we have here is JSON, LD plus JSON, as you can see here, all right? Now, I want to go ahead and walk through here some of this types of schema, and I'll point out specifically what the advanced types of schema that we will be creating, all right? So inside of here, we have our local business, and as you can see here, there's a magnitude of different types of schema written within the local business. Now, I want to go ahead and point these out because each of these are made up of different types, all right? So as you can see here, we're naming the business, all right? And inside of here, you have your type, which you're going to name professional service. You're going to go ahead and put in the ID, which in my opinion and how I'm showing it, this is actually the machine readable entity ID. Every single business is issued this. Along with that is the name. So you'll put the name of your business. You have your description. That's the description of the business. And over here on the right-hand side is the rendered HTML. It's going to go ahead and walk you through this. Telephone number, the URL. All right. Your logo. Now, I've seen multiple different types of businesses stacking logos. I've also seen awards being stacked. I don't necessarily recommend this. I have not seen a benefit from this at all. The types of schema that are in here, I have seen benefits from. I wouldn't say it's one of the first elements. I know that on page is going to be a lot more valuable to you. But I do feel that once we're quality assured that our on page is properly optimized, that taking care of the scheme is just the next step. All right. Sorry about that. Excuse me. All right. Now, as you can see here, we're going to start walking through these different types here. We can put in the payment methods. Again, Google wants us to name our business, the website, the images, the logo. They want us to name this. They want us to start associating these as entities, people, places, and things, objects, all right? We want these associations. We're going to talk about this within our content. This is a way to explain in the simplest way, this is a way for the bot to come to the page and be able to completely grasp everything instantly. So all of these details we're able to repeat, we're able to talk about, we're able to put them into place. Things like our payment method. We're going to also name our property values down in here, and this is where we start to get a little bit more advanced with the types of schema markup that we're adding. Now, this is a disambiguation description. As you can see, you can literally duplicate, much like your article description, where you're able to literally take the entire document and repeat it within the schema markup. all right, we can go in here and create this disambiguation where we're able to, I like to write unique content within here, all right? But again, this will be up to you if you want to repeat it or duplicate it. We have our founding date. This is going to match over to your Google My Business. If this is for a local site, you have your address, which is then going to be postal code and the state, the country. You'll have your main address. You know, what is it? Is it a building? Is it? And as you can see here, I've literally named every single aspect. You know, we want to be as transparent as possible for Google, especially when they come and visit a page. This initially, I wrote this custom for a contest, which, you know, in a relatively difficult space, I built, I think at the time, 4 links that were Trust Flow 45, and in 60 days we were at number 11, right? If I would have continued to build links and probably re-optimized, and mind you, I used 100% duplicate content, 100% duplicate content. The only unique content was within the schema, just to let you know, right? So is there value here, and can it help for the overall density of the page? You know, I'm not Google, but you know, when I used 100% duplicated content, but then I added 2,000 unique words into the schema, it was absolutely very, very helpful. Along with that, I also embedded content within the embed code. So I knew I had a overwhelming amount of, you know, the duplicate content on an overall page was definitely under the 60% mark, but I wanted to showcase 100% duplicate content to a viewer, just to showcase skill set, right? So in any case, let's keep going down. Job title, owner. So yeah. Oh man, what did I do with my mints? I lost my breath mints. Are you kidding me? I cannot possibly go on without a breath mint. Right? Oh, this is getting crazy now. Let's not get silly now, right? You know, I get parched. It's madness. But in any case, let's go on. I found what I was looking for. Now, as we scroll down here, please note, you know, if it's within the code, Google is reading it. All right. So we always want to use, not always, but in a lot of cases, we always want to use optimized file types. You know, I've personally found that the actual name of the file is actually more important than the metadata within an image. All right, this is just, you know, field observation. All right, I guess if that's the technical term. Moving down the list here, we're going to name our website. This is the organization, and then again, this gets into more of the advanced types, where we're actually going to name within the schema. All right, and we'll look at this again. But inside of here, we're literally going to name the founders. We're going to, and then of course we're going to talk about, you know, exactly who they are. You know, where can you contact them? And then we're literally naming each of these elements. Like, what is it, right? What do they do? What's their occupation? I literally sat in here and I named everything out. Along with this is going to be the associating with productology and also Wikipedia. So let's say, for instance, you know, this is an internet marketing service. There's an internet marketing page. You know, there's a web design page. All right. There's social media marketing pages. And I went in here and I added this as additional types. All right. So this is making association. Now, there's a gentleman within one of the groups that I belong to. I'm not here to pitch his deal, but he's got a great tool, and it's called Topical Relevance. So if you haven't seen Topical Relevance, at this time it is a complimentary tool, and I believe his name, well, I don't know if he's public, so I don't want to say his name, but he's got a cool tool. It's called Topical Relevance, and I'll show that to you. And then this way we're able to the tool actually literally go out, extract those entities for you and put it right into format. So you don't even have to mess with it. So when I wrote this by hand, this tool was not in existence. At least I didn't know about it, right? So I want to point this out to you because it could be very helpful for finding entities that are valuable assets for you that you can add into your schema, and it's going to go ahead and just put them all into code for you. So that it makes life very easy. Definitely check this out. I'm not here to plug it. I don't have an affiliate code or anything. It's free. So obviously I'm not here to sell you that, but it's a cool tool. I use it. I like it. Not on this particular account, but on my actual work account. So let's keep going on. Just so I just wanted to say that because, hey, it'll make your life so fast. It'll make it easy. Do I think that there's a benefit? Of course I do, or I wouldn't have added it, right? That doesn't sound pretentious, does it? I just want to give you, I want you to have the best success, right? So I want to point out the things that I have found to be helpful, right? Because, and we'll just go back to where this came from. When I was competing with myself in this contest, you know, I got it on to page 3, and I knew that the on page was good. Now, what got me to number 11, other than the 4 links hitting, because as soon as I built this site, I built the links. And I knew it was going to take like 45 to 60 days in order to see that boost, even if it was temporary. So I built the 4 Trust Flow 45 links to the site, to the page that I was trying to rank. And then I optimized the page. I kept playing with the optimization of the page. I was trying to hit page 2. I knew once I hit page 2, I knew it was golden. But when that first month clicked by and I hit page 3, I was like, all right, maybe this is as good as I could get without links. So the very next thing that I did after that was I added in the schema markup, and it was just a perfect bouquet. It all worked together. Bam, hit number 11 right after the initial 60 days has passed, 64 days, and I documented it. It stayed there for about a month. It actually went up to number 8, and then plummeted from there, right? But with that being said, I want to point that out because it could be very, very helpful, and it could be that deciding factor. If Google's looking at the page as an overall scoring system, just to keep things simple, if they're looking at the page as an overall scoring system, if one page is a scoring system and the on page is like, okay, that's a point. Okay, links, okay, that's a point. All right, word count, that's a point. Relevance words, okay, co-occurring keywords, that's a point, right? And you keep checking down the list. This is one of those things that's going to add you a point if you want to look at it that way. All right, let's keep going here. Now, what we're doing here is we're naming out the services. Now, these services, again, these are going to be the services we should have pages on our website, even though this is on one page that's talking about an overall service, like a home page perhaps. If I have inside my navigational bar, if I have, okay, I do search engine optimization, all right, or I do internet marketing, it's a service, we need to make sure that we have these words on the page as well, all right, like somewhere on the site. Most notably, perhaps I would hope that they're in the navigational menu, in our main navigation, top level navigation, or flooded across the footer. However you have your site tuned, you know, we want to name these properties. Hey, this is a service. This is who does it. This is where I do it. Here's the price points, right? We're naming all of these elements. All right. Let's keep going down the list. The main objective here is I wanted to point out some of the key features or some of the key elements that are relatively helpful, and some of the more advanced types, point out the tool to make your life a lot easier. And now let's get in here to logos. All right, this will be included in the template that I'm more than happy to share with you. It's a handwritten template. It runs clean, you know, but you know, I know that it could be helpful to have a template so you could just copy paste, and I'll show you how you can go about doing that as soon as I'm done here. So here's logos. Now logos, again, you know, I've seen on a magnitude of different sites, you know, most notably a pretty well-known website that offers a plugin, right? I noticed that they had them stacked in there. Not only the logos, but the awards. And this is where I was like, wow, this is quite interesting, right? Because this is a premier tool plugin for WordPress that a lot of people use. And I was taken back by this. So, I figured to myself, hey, if they're doing it, I need to start doing this, right? And they're winning off of authority, I'm sure. But with that being said, here's where we're naming these logos. Inside of the logos, as you can see here, we went ahead and we restacked the same details, okay? We literally restacked it, but when we named it, okay, you see what I'm saying here? This is built into the template, all right? This is a advanced way to do things, all right? I want to share this with you. All right, so as you can see, we're again naming off the owners. We literally just restacked this under the logo type, okay? Now, site link search box, I'm sure you already have that. There's nothing advanced about that, but it's cool to have it, and it's in the template. It's just in there. Now, you're probably asking yourself, well, hey, Chris, how do I go about, changing out these details and making it for my site? But I want to share with you one last piece that I will include into this little template here just to make your lives easy. And this is going to be the facts schema, all right? Now, what I've noticed is a lot of people are starting to utilize tools. A lot of these WordPress sites are starting to utilize these tools online of where they're graphing the schema markup, so you can't go out and take it, right? A lot of people are moving away from the weller known or the more established tools and utilizing more in-depth types of tools that are implementing the schema, and they're short coding it, and it's making it harder to go out and grab it, right? So with that being said, I want to go ahead and share this one with you because this is very helpful, and why I really like the facts schema is for one reason and one reason only. Well, for two reasons. One is I'm able to add hyper relevance to the page. I'll go ahead and share that quick strategy with you. Is let's say if I'm trying to target SEO consulting, right? Google's literally, it'll show the same result. When you do a search 10 times in a row, Google will return 10. The results up at the top might be the same, but you're going to see a lot of fluctuation past around the 4 mark. You'll see some fluctuation, and definitely on the second page, there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on, right? Each time you do a search, you get a new result. Something that stays the same that's always relevant to the search phrase is people also ask, all right? So people also ask are great to go ahead and add in to our facts schema or our facts section. This is going to add a lot of information to the page. You can stack that in there as large as you want, but please note when you're talking about fact schema, Google's only going to showcase 4. Now this might have changed in the last week because things change rapidly, but here I'll go make a test here. On page SEO checklist. I know a respectable SEO is ranking there, and I know that they have a site link search box. So, all right, so it looks like it's 3. It might have always been 3, and I might have been off there. It might have always been 3. I thought it was 4. It might have been 3. Hey, I'm sure somebody will mention that to me. But I mess up sometimes. But so as you can see here, it takes up space inside of the SERP. So it draws the eye, especially for desktop, obviously. Now, as we take a look here, let's see for people also ask, so what are the on-page SEO checklist? How do you do on-page step by step? And let's take a look and see, why is on-page SEO important? Let's see if he added that. No. What's included on page? How do you do it? How do you do on page, right? How do you do it? How to do on page? What are the on-page SEO checklist? And what are the best on-page techniques? So let's go down here. So why is it important? So he has 2 of the top 4 or top 5. So 2 out of the 3 are here. So it looks as though that a relatively high-level SEO is utilizing the same type of strategy, even if it's not being showcased, like it's not something that he said, hey, this is what I did. It's blatantly obvious, right? All right. So you get that. We can take up 3 positions by utilizing the fact schema. I'm sure you might have known this already, but maybe you haven't encompassed this type of strategy by taking what's already being showcased by Google, putting a small variation on it, and then including it into your text. Again, we could go in and add as much as we would like to the page just to really fill out the to fill out the code, I guess, and get a lot more relevance onto the page. But with that said, we're still only going to be able to showcase 3 answers. All right, so just keep that in the back of your mind when you're sitting there, because filling this stuff out is quite tedious. All right, unless you're utilizing a tool of some sort. All right, now I usually write these out by hand. I guess I enjoy that, and I have found the best success from that. Right, and as you keep going, you're probably going to want to, as time progresses, you start wanting to make your pages cleaner. You want the code to look clean. You want to limit the amount of plugins. I think it's a natural progression, right? Even though the plugins make things easy, So and I completely understand that. So with that being said, how do you go about changing this out, Chris? Right? So I've shared this slightly before, so I won't go over every single element or every single piece, but I can make this very simple for us. So each one of these types, I just want you to pick very close mind to where there's the quotation marks. All right, so always make your changes within the quotation marks. So say for URL, what's your URL? Put that inside of here. All right, generally under type, you never want to change the types, but just the targets, like you would want to put your site in. So you never want to change any of the variations. You don't want to mess anything up. And also, let's say that you did. All right, let's say that you did mess something up. So let's come inside of here and let's just take out this from the question. Here's what's really cool about this tool. So I took out one of the quotes. Say you missed something. Say you messed something up when you're refilling out this template details to match your website. As you can see here, it has said, hey, there's something wrong here. You'll view and it's gonna tell you exactly where it is, and look right where the Q is, exactly where I took that out, it told me. So I know, hey, I need to go in and add this, right? And then we can rerun it. Okay, just so you know, it makes life very easy, and you might know this already. But let's go back here. Go back, code, and then you could fix it, throw it in there, and rerun it, and it'll be completely fine, right? So we'll just test it now with it added. It'll analyze, and it should green right up for us, right? So there you go, and that's how you know it's good. And then if something is wrong, it's going to go ahead and point it out. Remember last time this was red here? So I hope that these advanced SEO types are helpful. I pointed out a very helpful tool. I've pointed out, the different types, at least different advanced types. Some just small little strategies, just some things to help you out, give you some background, give you some information. I hope that this has been helpful for you. And then too, there's a lot of tools out there, right? So create schema markup online free generator. Excuse me. So I haven't played with this one, but I'm sure it's probably pretty cool. So these generators, yeah, this is the one I played with. All right, so you can come inside of here. So here's one for local SEO. So you could come right inside of here. And here's some different types that they have. So video, site link search box, product. So there's product, which is aggregate rating, and events and facts page, a how-to schema, job posting. So here's breadcrumbs and articles. So this is a generator. This is one that was shown to me quite recently. So this can help you along as well. With those two, topical relevance and this, and then maybe one other if there's anything maybe you're missing. And I'll point out one more thing. So there's another type of schema that's actually good for another search engine. And I talked about this about 6 months ago, but I'll go ahead and throw that in case anybody missed it last time. So like 6 months ago, I made a video, but so there's another schema. It's called Dublin Core. And Dublin Core, as you can see here, is actually very good for Bing. All right, and this is something that I talked about months and months ago, but definitely check it out, try it out. There's a lot of generators, there's plugins, and it's actually pretty easy to go ahead and implement on the site. Okay, so that's going to go ahead and wrap up this particular video pertaining to schema. So I hope that this has been helpful. If you have any questions, briefly go ahead and ask. I'll be happy to answer them for you.